Republicans learn 2 lessons day one, hour one, when they get into campaigning. Just win, baby, is rule 1. Rule 2 is stay on message. And the joke about it is, if you're confused about rule 1, consult rule 2. If you're confused about rule 2, consult rule 1.
Yeah.
And so this idea that Democrats could benefit from more coordination about messaging, it's folks, that's not adopting Republican values. That's adopting an effective way to fight back against a lot of the evil that Donald Trump's people want to do.
Right. It's not the values, it's the technique with which we actually gain power, so that you can use
Yep.
that power in a virtuous way, that you can, protect the most vulnerable, so that you can make sure that the most people in this country have access to healthcare and abortion rights and whatever it may be, depending on what your, what your
Yeah.
priorities are. I got to ask you, and sorry to
Sure.
flip the tables here, but,
No.
but coming at this from the perspective of somebody who had worked in Republican politics for a long time, seeing this moment that we're in right now, what gives you hope about the moment that we're in with Democrats, and what worries you about the moment that we're in with Democrats? Like, what would you be licking your chops
Sure.
about if you were on the right looking at the left right now?
If I were on the right, I would say that the Democrats are going to be sleeping on a couple of social issues that they're going to pretend are suddenly the most important thing. I will tell you, they're going to bring the trans stuff back, about schools and trans stuff back this year. I'm starting to see it on the radar a little bit here and there.
I think Trump just posted about that within the last
Yeah.
24 hours.
Yeah. They're going to try to say that any objection to these mass deportations is pro-criminal. They're going to try to victim shame, or shame people for not sympathizing with the victims of crime and on immigration stuff. And look, it is an unsubtle thing they're doing right now, and I don't know how the Democrats need to respond to it yet. But this whole George Floyd revisionism thing is as obvious a race baiting piece of bullshit as I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
They're going to try to essentially provoke a Black Lives Matter response over the summer of this year and next by pardoning Derek Chauvin, who is a fucking murderer.
Yeah.
I worry about those things. Now, on the good side, I think Democrats are at least having the conversation about how to talk to America. And my biggest recommendation is always speak American. Don't come out with a PowerPoint from $1 million hotel, or conference at a hotel.
I think that the acronym was SAM.
Yes.
It was I can't even remember what the acronym was, but it was
Speaking to American men.
Speaking to American men, yes, a symposium on how to speak to American. It's like white dudes are just like zoo animals, and you have to
right, and you're not going to communicate with them through this long PowerPoint approach of saying, well, what are the valences of their no. Language is simple.
Yeah.
I mean, reduce the complexity of what you're saying, because most of the time it comes across to the median voter in this country as way up here in terms of detail and emotionally flat or negative to those voters. There's a reason Donald Trump was able to bring young men voters, both white, Hispanic, and African American, over the line this year or last year, is that they went out and talked where they talk. And they went on they did the podcast stuff. They did the sporting events. They understood that the 25-year-old male out there that they would love to hold on to, they understood that guy's not up late at 10:30 at night watching MSNBC.
Yeah.
Or listening to NPR or reading the Times. They went where they fished where the fish were. They it's the old Willie Sutton joke. Why'd you rob the bank? Because that's where the money was.
Yeah.
And I think there's something with there's an opportunity for Democrats here, because for all the things that Trump did tactically, he's now fucked those people strategically and economically with the tariffs, with this tax bill. So all the things they thought they would get from Trump in terms of the economy, in terms of stability in their lives. I talked to a guy a few weeks ago who was in his late 20s, drifting away from MAGA. He voted for Trump in 20, voted for Trump in 2024, but with his nose kind of like, ugh. And he said, he goes, now it looks like they don't give a shit. Because now he's in that phase of his life where he would love to get married and buy a house and have a family and all those things. And it looks like Trump doesn't care about him. Democrats have a big, big, big window here to say, hey, all this shit is crazy. And by the way, guys, I mean it when I say it like that. This shit is crazy. It's
Yeah.
hurting you. We're gonna fix it. We don't. The other stuff can wait. We're gonna fix this part first. We're gonna fix the economy and your life first, and help people. And I just think there's a real space there for them, because Trump's instincts now are to cash in, help his buddies, fuck everybody else. Man, there's a real window there for Democrats to say those things.
Yeah, 100%. And I hope that the very cynical part of me that's been doing digital political media for the better part of a decade now just hopes that matters. Like there is a very cynical, fatalistic part of me that's like, okay, we've been doing this for so long, and everybody is so calcified in their
Sure.
polarization that even when like we'll still see polls that say like the vast majority, like 80 something percent of Republicans still approve of Donald Trump, 90 something percent of Republicans still approve of Donald Trump, and it worries me about whether even when he is so overtly corrupt, even when all of the things he promised, which is lower grocery costs, lower housing costs, lower rent
Lower
costs,
gas.
lower gas, like all of the things, not focusing on any of those, instead just basically giving Elon Musk a bunch of federal government handouts, raising the estate tax from like 13 million to 15 million, so that
Right.
when you have $15 million that you could pass it on, like as if like that's going to impact Main Street, the vast majority of Americans.
Yeah.
So he's doing that. We're watching these trade wars make everything, the cost of everything higher. We're watching him strip healthcare away from 14 million Americans. We're watching him take food assistance away to the tune of 300 billion bucks. And so he's doing all of these things. And there is some small part of me that worries that even amid all of this, maybe because we're just so calcified in our positions and our sides, or maybe because the right wing media machine is not going to let that stuff come through. They're not going to cover the fact that 14 million people are going to lose their Medicaid, and
That's right.
inherently those people have so little power, which is why they went after them. I mean, Republicans could have gone after Medicare, but seniors in this country are a very powerful voting bloc. But Medicaid isn't. These are low income folks. These are disabled folks. These are children. I think like 40% of children in the
Yep.
children's health insurance program
Yep.
rely on Medicaid funding. And so they chose people, and this is like what breaks my heart about this is they knew that they wanted to strip healthcare away from people. That was their goal all along. But they chose people who have the least political power because they knew that the inevitable backlash would be so much more minimized when you focus on Medicaid recipients versus
That's right.
Social Security or Medicare. And so they went after these people, specifically knowing that they don't have that much political capital to wield.